to the party. Pat Zip, also nice. Acid Laser, Wonka, Lauren, Zep, they're always here, you know, I see them especially early. So it's always nice to see some fresh faces. Well, maybe we can just get this party started early because I think we have a lot to go through today. So, first off, I want to give so much praise to Tam for coordinating so much within. Oh, Zep, I'm sorry. Are you ready for me? Okay, cool. I want to give so much praise to Tam for coordinating so much stuff all the time, making sure that everything is happening the way it's supposed to happen. She really has her finger on the pulse of the TEC, so can't give enough praise for her. I also want to praise Acid Laser for the amazing Twitter work during the Taoist. There so much was captured, so many cool pictures, and it was really fantastic work. I also want to praise Chewy for the work that he did with the Taoist. Really cool event, and it's so nice to start being more inclusive with the languages that we use in this community. I also want to praise Christopher and Mitch and Livia and all the crew from the reward system. We just did a 7-hour praise quant. Acid Laser feels the pain. Can't wait for the reward system. All the quanters, they're like half an hour and they were done. The work that's being done for the praise quant is incredible, and everyone involved deserves extra praise. And with that, I'll pass it to Wonka.
Thanks, Griff. Yeah, I would like to praise Tam for being a pivot point in our community and someone who inspires with her leadership. Also, Griff and Lauren for sharing some slides that Mateo and I are going to fork to make a presentation today in a hackathon in Colombia. Chuy for ending one event and thinking in another. I heard he was thinking in Daoist Medellin. Semp for being back with Septi and for working with me on Unbreakable Vows. Septi for his consistency and supporting Gravity, as well as Jeremy, Lynn, Bianca, and Durgadas. And also because he's going to present today with me talking about public goods in Spanish. And I will pass to Septi.
Yes, I'd like to praise Zepti, Ivy, and Inti for the great conversations and continued support in the transparency working group. I'd like to praise. I do not recall the members. I'd like to praise the team that put on the labs last week, and I would like to praise Ben's on this most recent call that we just had together. And came in a little bit late, so I'll pass it to Manu.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, praise Chewy for having organized a magnificent event at the Taoist Mexico. Praise Patty for her Tea Academy presentation in Spanish. Praise Griff for being a professional hugger and for helping me out with a problem I had reaching Wrapped Exide. Praise Tam for trusting in me and offering me to do some coordination for the working groups. Praise Asa Laser, Lauren, Mateo, Mitch, Chewy, Patty, because I met them in person. Man, what else? Yeah, I guess I'm gonna pass it now. If I have some more praise, I'll just do it myself later on. I will pass it to yeah, benefits of being the praise overlord. I'll pass it to Matty G.
Hey, what's up, guys? I want to praise Mitch for setting up the quantification this week and managing all that and talking to all the quantifiers. Christopher for taking the lead on the Praise app and the working group, and Nebs and Vive IV, and Grail for their work on the Praise app. And I will pass it to Benz.
Thanks. I would like to praise Gideon for coordinating the writing group guild, and praise Taxel and Guyan for jumping in there and volunteering and being involved. Wonka and Durgados for a long, kind of unstructured but really good conversation yesterday. That was fun. Praise Ratio for walking me through some stuff just now in Discord and some of the transparency work. Praise Mitch for the quant coordination, and Christopher for his work on the Praise app. Praise Jeremy and Lean for leading the Liberating Structures group. I'll pass it to Pat. Did you go? Yeah? No?
Hello. Nice to see everyone. So let me start praising everyone that I met in person. Griff, Mitch, Manu, Tui, Miguel, Acid Laser, and I think Anna, and I think there are many more names there. I want to praise also Manu again for the support with speaking in Spanish, having a talk in Spanish, and the support in that. I want to praise Anna for presenting with me, and Angie for giving me all the promotion support and on the background. And I want to praise Angela, of course, for making this idea happen and going all the way. We can bring it to Mexico and many other places. And yes, that's it. Thanks, everyone. Oh, I'll pass it to Craig. Have you been there yet?
Yeah, thank you. Let's see. Maybe I'll praise the group of first quantifiers that just happened. Looks like that's Tam 2140, Liviade, Aussie Cross, Sean, Tigeroid, Divine Comedian, Benz, Kalaski, Bye V, Metodo, and Ushua Silver. Thanks for your work there. Appreciate it. Back to you, Griff. I don't know who's left.
No worries. Let's throw it over to the Twitterati, Acid Laser.
Thank you. So I want to praise Chuy for his warm welcome at Mexico City. Praise to Chuy, Miguel, Momano, Griff, Lauren, Mitch, Mert, Mateo, Patsy for meeting us in real life. Ginesi, Maffer, Thiago, Gustavo, and Griff for the 2 months Praise Quant of Common Stack. And Juanca for all the initiatives he's having with the Gravity Working Group. Frichel for all the work these past months with the community traces and helping with every problem. Praise Stan for updating the GitHub issues at this right moment. And praise Chris, Mitch, and Livia for the amazing work with the Praise dashboard. And I'll pass it to...
Oh, sorry. Who'd you pass it to?
Yeah, Chuy.
Thanks, Acid Blazer. I want to praise the whole Giveth crew for visiting Mexico City. I also want to praise Acid Blazer, Lauren, Patty, Carlos, for Manu for meeting in real life. I also really want to praise the reward system working group for all of the achievements that happened while we were busy with the event in Mexico. And I also want to praise Patty and Nanatech for the great presentation on the Token Engineering Academy. I want to praise also Manu, Mert, for their participation. And also Craig, because I had forgotten to praise you for meeting in real life. And I'll pass it to Mario.
Hey, Jude, thank you. Hi, everyone. I want to start first saying that I have to leave a little bit early today. But I have two praises. First is for Juanca to giving me all the support he's giving me with the all gravity's highlights. And the second one is for Chewy, Acid Laser, Mount Manu, John Jonas, and Alan TV for all the work we have been doing the last 2 weeks with the animation team to finally arrive into the decisions we made this week. And I'll pass it to Libby.
Thank you. I want to praise Tim for how careful she is with everyone in this community. It's outstanding the quality of attention you hold when you're with people. Praise Teresa CD for jumping into SoftGov with a big proactive energy and for taking an issue to work on her first meeting. Antti for his engagement and willingness to help in SoftGov and reward systems. Praise Gideon for his passion and dedication to the TEC mission, especially for the people and culture. Edu for his support to every newcomer in this community. Aaron for a super inspiring conversation we had on reward systems today. Praise Angela, Patty, Peter, and Octopus for a heartwarming session we had yesterday, debriefing the learnings from the Governance Research Group. Praise Christopher for having me in the Tally Twitter space yesterday, chatting about TC and TS. And I'll pass to Nate.
You're gonna have to type my praise today, but I will pass it to.
Okay, cool. I think Nate said you type it. Okay, thanks. Take it.
I want to praise. I'm having my infinite loop. I want to praise Manu for his talk on the TEC in Spanish. I want to praise Jimmy for making the Taoist happen, and Acid Laser for his amazing stickers. They were great. And also for doing all the Twitter and shilling about the Taoist. I want to praise Mert for joining and hanging out with me and Griff and just bringing such good vibes, and everyone else who was at the Taoist, including Mateo and Carlos and Patty and Patricia and all these great people who were there. I want to praise Griff for his great talk on collaborative economics, and Mitch for all his work on the reward system and the proposal inverter and all the crazy things that he does. Mitch is so cool. And I'll pass it to Kotabe.
Hey everyone, first time here. I want to praise each and every one of you. I want to praise Lauren that is here to my left and Griff that is in front of me. And yeah, it's great to be here. I want to praise everyone else that was on. I want to praise everyone else that was on the Taoist. Chuy for organizing it, and Mitch for coming, and everyone that is here. And I'm super happy to be here. So that's it. I'll pass it. I don't know who has passed or not.
I can pass it for you. Let's toss it over to Gideon.
Okay, I want to praise Nate and Taxel and Benz and Guyan for helping to launch the Writers Guild. Super exciting. They're great. They're really rolling up their sleeves. I want to praise Tam and Nate for helping to ramp up and kind of steward the publishing work that we're going to be doing on Medium. We're going to be ramping that up. Also, Olivia, Juanca, and Zeptimus for being willing to be guinea pigs, being our first guinea pigs as we ramp up some new articles there. I want to praise Livia, Tam, Eduardo, Steph, Shubnam, Nick, and Durgadas for deeply engaging and kind of giving some really good feedback, concrete feedback on this document on the TEC and its people. Let's see, I'll pass it to who hasn't, Tam.
I'd like to praise Nate for being a really fantastic co-steward and a human. And I want to say the support you provided yesterday was invaluable, and I really hope that we make a difference. I'd like to praise Eduardo for our one-on-ones each week, because it's just such a pleasure to spend an hour with you. And Livia too. I'd like to praise Livia. This week we talked about a meme, a Fire Festival meme, and we had to stop because we were laughing so hard that tears were running down our faces. And that's just a really awesome way to have a meeting with somebody. I'd like to praise Craig for catching our Gitcoin grants. Was inactive. I'd like to praise Gideon for the extraordinary efforts you're making on so many fronts and your ability to have a vision and execute so well while including everyone around you and supporting all of us. It's an incredible inspiration to me personally. I'd like to praise Nick because his thoughtful remarks brings me such warm feelings and good vibes in our community. And I'll post the rest in the channel. And I'll pass to you, Griff, please, to pass on.
Yeah, I think there's only one person left. Durgadas! Do you have any praise to dish?
Yeah.
The Jedi.
I'm a little cold today. Yeah, I'd like to praise Gideon for engaging with some of these topics that I've been talking about for a little while. It's kind of nice to have somebody else treading that path. Manu for his work in the HubSpot side of things. Nate, Tam, Livy, Zeptimus, Griff, Lauren, Wonka as always, and for Ben's and Acid Laser for all of their contributions. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted right now. So.
That's okay, Durgadas. It's a great way to end the praise. I think I got everyone right. Speak up if I didn't get you, but I'm pretty sure we got everyone. So welcome to Community Call 73. So exciting. Of course, everyone in this call, I think, is very familiar with praise. Do it all the time. Dish that praise. But we like to start off these calls with some big smiles. So turn on your cameras. Let's get a nice screenshot for Twitter and these things. That way, while I read the mission. So our goal of the TEC is to become a Schelling point for token engineering for the token engineering community. Our economic layer will fund projects that discover, develop, proliferate the best practices for engineering safe tokenized economies, while aligning our collective success with the individual benefit of token holders. Our social layer is the most important, as it will unite the token engineering field around ethical principles, standards, tools, and methodologies that will emerge as this nascent field advances. Ooh, talking is tough today. Thank you all. Thank you for the screenshot. Also, just a couple of reminders that are always given here. Gravity, it's a thing. Conflicts, they're normal. If you have conflicts, if you see conflicts, help us resolve them before they get too big. You can reach out to, on the right side, there's of Discord, there's a little group of active gravitons. If you see something that you feel like could be improved in the relationships in our community, tell us to just DM someone who you feel comfortable talking to about it. Or if you don't want to have like a in real life synchronous conversation, you can fill out the type form that's linked in the middle of this text here and give an anonymous report if you so desire. And this will keep us all lovey-dovey in this community. Also, another thing that avoids people having hurt feelings or feeling excluded on decisions, we're such a decentralized swarm at this point that it's really important to follow the advice process. Before making any kind of big decision, final, you please discuss the impact of these decisions with the people who will be impacted by the decisions. And also, definitely reach out to experts on the topics. We have such a wide variety of people in this community that know about a lot of things. So if you have to make a big decision, ask around. Who should I talk to about this? Also, so much is going on in the gardens. And man, we have one of the most active gardens that's ever existed. There are 5 votes going on. The first one is Gravity. It is going to pass in about 2.5 days if nothing else changes. 39 supporters. Super cool on that one. It's a big one, 51K. Also, we have Team DAO, translations team. The translations team, actually this picture is wrong. It looks like it needs about 38,000 more TEC to vote on it before it can pass. And then we have the Twitter planning team, which just got up like a few days ago. It needs about 53,000 TEC to stake behind it before it can pass. And also we have retroactive funding for the TEC Spotlight video. This is for T. Wells. It needs about 48,000 TEC for it to pass. And also, which just popped up, is and has huge support. Some whales are in there pushing this one forward. Well done. TEC the Token Engineering Conciliance Library. This is the Omega Working Group Initiative. Has lots of support, so that's super cool. It'll pass even before Gravity, so that's really cool. And if you don't like any of these, and in fact, if you don't like any of these, you should really put your votes behind abstain. If you actually like them and you just don't want to vote, that's also fine. You don't have to do anything. But you can always also send your tokens, allocate your tokens behind the abstain proposal. And a decision vote was passed this week as well to update the tributes. So now the entry tribute is 18% and the exit tribute is 4% on the bonding curve. Although you can also always buy TEC tokens on HoneySwap. One last announcement, daylight savings. Time is the biggest meme in our society. It controls what we do. And unfortunately, governments like to play with it. So expect your calendars to be messed up for the next 3 weeks. This is just like logistical thing that we all need to be aware of. Everybody's times, a lot of people's times are going to be changing. And in the Google Calendar invites that we have, the Google Calendar changes based off of the time zone that someone was in when they created the event. So, the next 3 weeks, our little events are just going to be hopping around the calendar like crazy. So just be aware, go in there, maybe in your working groups, discuss what you're going to do like for the next 3 weeks. Make sure everyone is aware of what time you plan on doing your meetings, and then we can move forward without any issues. So thank you guys, and pass it to Tam, Steward of Stewards, to tell us what's going on this week.
Cool. So we are halfway through Sprint 30, and as you can see, there's this big Sprint board link, which will take you to the Sprint board. And I'll just quickly share my screen. Here, got it. We have a bunch of meetings for the stewards. Everyone is invited to them. We have a weekly meeting, we have a bi-weekly council, and then we have a sprint cadence every 2 weeks. We will have the sprint planning and retrospective within that period. It's really fun when there are a lot of contributors from that have many different perspectives. Even though it's the stewards working group, it's not just for stewards, it's actually for everyone in the community to join and participate in. And on the next slide, I left this up because I just want to, again, welcome Nate as a co-steward to the Stewards Working Group, and to share, we have a huge milestone, almost. We are still in progress for the very first Stewards compensation distribution. We have a last few coordination hurdles, but we're almost there. Tomorrow, usually the Stewards Council happens before this community call, but this week, in order to make sure that a few people were able to join, we're going to have it tomorrow. So it'll be hosted by Zeptimus, praise Zeptimus for that. And the topic will be the best uses for the laser tag funds. When we launched the augmented bonding curve, we did an initial buy and have about 118,000 TEC tokens that are sitting in a multi-sig, which we are calling laser tag. And there are some posts on the forum about ways that we can use it. Mitch posted something on the forum, and one of the purpose of here is sort of creating a liquidity market for XDAI and TEC. There is some other proposals that have started coming up, and we're going to use our discussion group to sort of share ideas, thoughts, and best ways that we can actually use these TEC tokens in order to create liquidity, to find revenue streams, and even to create partnerships. What was on the steward's mind this week? Well, we did a temperature check, as usually. That's how we always start. We talked about Gideon's article, TEC and Its People. It was a Communitas led or emerged, I wouldn't call it an article, I would say it was like a thinking piece, and it went a little viral. There's some intense commenting in the document itself. So I actually do encourage everyone go read this, but maybe start reading the document as it was written, and then go back and I think getting the big picture that Gideon was trying to convey and his thinking about the TEC. It's a draft. It's not a prescriptive document, and then maybe go back and having a read through a lot of the suggestions could be really eye-opening about how our community is thinking, how Communitas and other working groups are thinking about our community and community building and developing. We had a check-in from the rewards working group, and you'll hear their big news soon. And Mitch and Mert gave us an update on the proposal inverter. They are the two people who are representing the TEC in this collaboration with Prime DAO. There's no new date, as far as I know, for the TE Academy Token Engineering Commons Intro to Token Engineering, which happens monthly. But Patty's here, and maybe she has an update for us when she gives an update on the Token Engineering Academy. And of course, retweets equal love. So I'm going to recommend this amazing tweet about Gitcoin grants round 13 and the Token Engineering Commons proposal grant in round 13. Go support the Token Engineering Commons and the many amazing digital goods that are in the Gitcoin grant round 13. And with that, I'll pass to Wonka and Gravity.
Thanks, Tam. Very exciting news from the Gravity Working Group. I think that our proposal will be passing in the next days. And one of the things that we are trying to work on is that we don't want DAOs to continue reproducing the same violent practices we see in our current systems. So we are really strengthening this cultural part and awareness and competency of conflict management. And with this proposal in the TEC, we really want to use these funds as something sacred and continue growing this project and trying to reach the expectations that we have. But so we are having 3 calls, and you can see them here in our call to action. On Tuesdays, we are having Deep Democracy and Liberating Structures with Lynn and Jeremy. Those calls are super cool, are really practical. We are trying tools from their Liberating Structures toolbox to try to implement in these online meetings. Also on Wednesdays, we're having our coordination calls, coordination within the working group. And today we will start our book club Thursdays. The schedule of that call is after this call, after the community call, and it will start today. We are going to read the book Who Do We Choose to Be by Margaret Whitley. And the coordinator of that book club will be Lynn. So everyone is invited to stay here in the TEC server after this call, and we will be starting today to make an introduction of the book and of the dynamic that we are going to follow. Also, we're using SendHub to keep the registry of the cases, where we actually bring conflict management support, the work to coordinate bounties, and you can always request support managing conflictive situations through our Typeform or contacting the active Gravitons in Discord. We also have a Gitcoin grant, so we really appreciate if you support us. And the other thing that I'm going to say is that the Graviton training, that is our certification program to certify mediators in the Web3 space, will start late April. So everyone is invited, and keep in the loop. That's all that I have to say for Gravity right now. And I will pass to the soft working group.
Thanks, Wonka. Super exciting, all the stuff happening in Gravity. And for SoftGov, I wanted to update that we are taking actions on something that has been talked about in the SoftGov calls, that is education about advice process and governance in the TEC. So really promoting that during the calls, talking more openly about it, and This graphic is being shared more openly, and people have more awareness of what are these 3 steps of advice process, how to deal with the rest of the governance. And we had a discussion about this too in the stewards meeting yesterday, talking about, okay, how do we approach advice process for large pieces of writing, for example, when is more appropriate to send to the forum, when should it be contained to a working group. So it's normal that some of these questions come up, and the more we talk about it, the clearer we'll be with the whole process. And also, there was an action for improvement in the last retrospective call. That is, how can we provide steps for duocracy? How can people understand how to exercise duocracy in the community? So we had a big discussion about this in the last SoftGov meeting, and I just wanted to share some of the things that came up. So the ones in red are ways that people feel that prevent them from being proactive. So thinking that people would yell at me if I just started doing things, having fear of people not agreeing on what I'm doing, or fear of not understanding if what I'm doing is right or important, questioning if I have the competence to execute this. Or how do I know I'm going to make a living out of this? I'm coming here, I'm contributing, I'm putting a lot of time. What is needed for me to understand things before jumping on them? Is this going to be worthy for me? And some of the positive sides that people felt like they could act on agency was sense of people being too busy felt like validation for me to take things to do. More knowledge about the bigger picture helped me to feel confident to act. In the TEC, every time I feel like something needs to be done, I feel like I can just do it. This things needs to be done. I'm capable of it. I'm gonna do it. And then some suggestions that came up of like how we can improve, how can we create a bridge and more balance between these 2 extremes is education, constantly talking about how everyone has the agency to jump into things and providing the resources needed to do that. Create awareness about the reward system. So we've been talking a lot about this, but I know a lot of people have questions still. So jump in the chat, in the reward systems chat, ask questions, come talk to me or Christopher, anyone in the community, any of the stewards will know how to inform about how the reward system works. Building intimacy can help us feel safe and feel more comfortable with taking agency. So really bringing this into all our interactions, how can we make it more warm, more welcoming? Having this in mind for all of us. And Teresa shared that she had an onboarding session that was really helpful, but that it would be great to her to have a section with things that newcomers can do. And she immediately jumped into that and started to collaborate to make this happen. So yeah, just a question. I want to leave it open. How can the TEC create a path for how to contribute meaningfully? And I think all of us can take agency on doing that. And yeah, we just had a brief discussion on debates and proposals, debates on proposals. So some ideas to bring proposals closer to our awareness and to understand more about them. So some ideas where we could create an AMA, a weekly AMA, and have this answers transcribed to the forum. But that was very brief, and more ideas are welcome to how we can increase engagement on the proposals. And with that, I'll pass to Edu with comment.
Well, Eduardo isn't able to join today, so I'll take it. So Communitas working group, let me just bring the slides up here too. We're celebrating over 1,900 members on our Discord server, so that was a nice figure to reach. We did have a major milestone. Communitas did complete the first compensation distribution. So all of the contributors to Communitas were compensated for their work in February. So so that coordination effort was just a tiny bit easier to go through. And Communitas is working on an FAQ about how to commonly asked questions on our Discord server. We just started building it, but if you have ideas about what we should include, feel free to reach out to Eduardo or myself, drop a message on the Communitas channel. I talked a little bit about the TEC and its people's piece. Here's a link to the article. I recommend everyone go and read it. It's a really, really thoughtful piece. It really started as consolidating a lot of the thinking work that has been coming up in Communitas over the last few months. And then, I think I would say, Gideon just started to think more and more and more and bigger and bigger and bigger. So it ended up being this very, very big piece, as well as having some more specific actionable items that Communitas will be taking in the next over the next few sprints. Our own Eduardo presented at the TE Academy, TE Commons Intro to Token Engineering. He slayed it, I'm sure. I don't think there's a video, but that just means you have to come to the April one, and we'll help announce. We'll pass on that date when we have it. But again, Patty might have it. Fingers crossed. The orientation call is not a call. I'm going to tell you right now, it is a party. We have so much fun in that call. So I don't miss it anymore because I just feel like it's such a dopamine hit from the orientation call that it's just nice to be there. I recommend people come even if you've already been oriented. It's actually a really informative call, and it's very intimate. We get to know the new people in a really sweet way. And lastly, the TE Lounge moved from 5 p.m. to 4 p.m. CET. It's still on Fridays. Eduardo is spearheading thinking of new ways that we can create a social space that feels just nice for people to hang out and get to know each other. He's brainstorming some ideas and is soliciting advice from our community. If there's something that you see works for other communities, or that you have a suggestion for how we can create these social spaces for people just to get to know each other and nothing else on the agenda, please let Eduardo know. And with that, I will pass to the Omega Working Group. Is it you, Mert, who will give an update? Cool. I'll pass to Mert.
Yeah, thank you. Super. So our library proposal is live. We are very happy about it. So in the next week, we will discover about how we can create a library that is not a passive product, but it can be a living library experience where you can get engaged with it, have different relationship with the knowledge, just not by consuming it passively. So next week we will do on this, and also we had a research topic that we will create a learning group after it, which is based on how token engineering parameters will affect human behavior and human moral behavior. It's a very dope research. If you like to come and learn, feel free to jump in Omega calls. Lastly, we haven't given our funding proposal yet. We are doing sessions called Working Style Discovery. If you like to see how a different working group can work different and try to explore different ways of working, different ways of coordination, you can also drop Omega calls. As you can see, it's kind of very hot in Omega these days. So please feel free to chime in and talk with us. So thank you, Tam. I'm good. Thanks, Mert. I think I can take it for labs, right? Unless someone else wants to interrupt. So I don't see YGG here. Okay, cool. So I'll take it for TEC Labs. The TEC Labs is where we do a lot of token engineering education and learning opportunities, and there's no shortage. There's no shortage. Metaverde killed it with the Solidity. We can't with the Solidity Labs series. It was incredible with crypto zombies. Anyone who participated, I'm sure, is better for it. But now we're going to start summoning the Discord bot army with Vive IV and YGG, dynamic duo. And I can't wait to see what kind of like militia we create with this next series. Also, there's proposal inverter workshops. The proposal inverter has like, I don't know, some ridiculous amount of money staked behind it right now, pledged to it. So it's going to be a serious product. And if you want to get involved with that, there are you can come join any of these workshops on Wednesday at 9 a.m. PST, West Coast time, in the Prime DAO Discord. And the proposal inverter is just getting cross-pollinated all over the place. I guess that's kind of its point. And the proposal should be going live in the TEC pretty soon. The TE Fundamentals course, pre-registration is open. Check that out. I guess Patty will talk more about that. And then we have office hours. If you just want to wax philosophically about anything, conviction voting or governance in general, you can, or anything token engineering related, you can go to the Longtail Financial open office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon West Coast time. And then Block Science, Michael Zargum holds an open office hours on Thursdays at 9 a.m. West Coast time. So definitely don't miss those if you want to dive into the TE. And also there's this really cool calendar that has all of these events and way more. The TEC Labs calendar. Jump in there and see all the cool stuff that Longtail Financial is doing all the time. And with that, I'll pass it to Chewy with comms.
Thank you, Griff. In comms, we have a ton of meetings on Mondays to sync around the different teams working in different parts of communications. And then we have a general sync call on Tuesdays. So if you think you can contribute to any of the teams, make sure you join these syncs. And some of the updates that we had this week was that Manu presented the token engineering comments in the Taoist Mexico, which went really, really great. And also a lot of people from the community met in real life. And also the Giveth crew was here, and the T Academy team was here. So it was a very, very exciting weekend. And if you want to catch up with some of the conferences that happened there, make sure you check out the Taoist YouTube channel. And some of the updates around communications and teams is that our funding proposals are up. The Token Engineering Academy team proposal passed. And also we uploaded the Twitter planning funding proposal. So if you want to support us, please make sure you take your TEC tokens with the teams. Also, we had an important discussion around the team roadmap for animation and video production, and there are going to be some changes around this team. So if you want to sync or also be part of the efforts, because this team is going to be growing a lot, just in a different way than what we have proposed. So if you're interested in this particular topic, we're going to be posting a forum thread with some further discussion there. So we would appreciate your feedback on this. And HubSpot is right now working with the newsletter, the next newsletter, and the translations team is also standing by for their proposal to pass. So yeah, make sure you support us. Thank you. And with that, I'll pass it to Septimus in transparency.
there's not much going on in legal this week. We have our sync isn't this week; it's next week. We just finished the challenge and proposal terms. The Ivy, I shouldn't say we. Ivy is the magic behind everything we're doing in the legal stream. She makes sure to connect with the legal experts when needed, and so we're going to add the conviction voting proposals terms and conditions to the covenant. Probably not until after the call next Friday, and then also eventually we're going to put together a funding proposal just to get like $10,000 of what do you call it? Of like just a backstop to sit in on multi-sig, so that in case we do have legal issues, we can fight them, as well as give a retroactive bonus to all the lawyers that contributed to the effort. So, but if you want to come, if you know of any legal experts that are interested in token engineering and want to be part of this nascent field of study, this is the best place for them to come for sure. Nobody will be more on the forefront than the legal experts helping the TEC. So definitely invite them to come to our calls. They're every other Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or 4 p.m. If you're in Europe. And with that, oh man, I'm so glad we finally have an abundance of time to pass it to the rewards working group to discuss what's going on there.
Yeah, thanks, Griff. A lot going on in the reward system. It's really exciting that we got to the final first quant. It was a success. It happened. It's an incredible amount of work that went into making this first quant happen. It's like almost unbelievable. And it went really well because we had, I think it was around 10 quantifiers. Might be the wrong number, but we had a few quantifiers that all accomplished all their quants in time. So it took actually less than an hour for me to complete 240 praises. This is so much better than the 3-4 hours that we used to spend before. So just this alone, it's already a huge success.
We did it the old way with Acid Laser, Maria Yanesi, and it took us about 7 hours to do praise the first C-stack yesterday. So.
Yeah, imagine that versus 45 minutes chilling that you can put your own music and do the thing on your own time. It was so great. And the dashboard makes it really easy. It was fun. It was very informative also. So for that aspect of being informative, we decided to bring back the names. So we tested in one trial to make it anonymous, so you couldn't see who was praising and who was being praised. But we thought that the burden of missing the information about who are working on what was too much to actually leave that aside. So we brought it back, and now you can see who praised who, and that gives some information about what's going on in the community and makes praise more fun. So there was just some issues. We're not doing the distribution right away because we're still trying to understand how to make the tweak phase. So before, when we had the spreadsheets, we would look everyone together. Is this like a balanced distribution? Does this seem right? Are the people receiving like a value that is okay? Is there any praise that is weird or that needs to be changed? And this process is still very blurry, and we're having some ideas. Actually, Matteo, that is in this call, gave a suggestion to automate some flaggings that we could have. Like if there's some type of weird activity, we could have the system flag them and then look directly into those, and hopefully with time make this process better. But yeah, we didn't get to major conclusions in the last call, so this is still going to be discussed. And next quant starts on Monday. So if you want to become a quantifier, there's still time, and everyone is welcome. There's a lot of praise for us to quantify. We're thinking of doing 1 week quantifies a month. So this last time we quantified just 2 weeks, but on Monday we're going to start quantifying a month until we catch up. So hopefully we catch up to present day in about 7 weeks, 7 to 8 weeks. And yeah, there was a lot of other topics in the agenda that we didn't cover this week because we were kind of stuck on this issue of how to manage this tweaking session. So yeah, just one quick resolution was that in the end of next week, we'll have a tweak session for both these last ones, that hopefully until there we'll have a solution for that. And with that, I'll pass to Patty.
Thank you. So, the TEC Engineering Academy, I think everyone aware that we have TEC Engineering Fundamentals as the next course coming up. The aim of this course is to diminish a little bit the barriers in languages in cross-disciplinary, so in TEC Engineering. And as this course is only happening at the end of the year, we have already more than 700 registrants. It's an amazing number, and we are super happy about it. And we want to onboard them and make sure that they are well prepared. And for that, starting next week, we have the next slide. We have T360, which is a 6 weeks study group focused on the basics of what is TEC Engineering. This is going to be a series of study groups, and we initially are hosting them with the T Academy as usual. But if you are interested in being, for example, a host or being a mentor or being a tutor, if you want to contribute to these study groups, please let me or Angela or Peter know, and we can include you in the next kickoff for potential hosts and candidates, which is going to happen next Tuesday. So please let us know. And you are all invited for, even if not as mentors or tutors, to come by and study with us. We are planning to read 6 articles, 1 per week, and discuss them, have some insights. And yeah, that's the invite I want to share. If you are interested, you know anyone, come by. And yes, this is it.
Thank you, Patty. And if I can't remember, Mert, I believe are you gonna shill the TE Conciliance Library? Excellent. Thank you, Mert, for taking on the spotlight today.
Yeah, so can I share my screen?
Definitely.
So, hello guys. So this proposal is actually, we've been discussing about this library for almost 4 or 5 months very extensively. So I thought we come up with a very, let's say, delicate library idea. So we are requesting 15,000 XDAI from TC, and I would like to talk very briefly about how this library will look like. So we wanted to create 3-phased multidisciplinary library. Since we believe token engineering is a very multidisciplinary subject, but mostly now extended and developed by computer scientists and people coming from engineering backgrounds. So we wanted to inform people about how crypto economics is as a subject is interdisciplinary thing that we can incorporate with decision science, complex system theory, AI, and psychology, all those other things. So in the first phase of our library, we will host quote unquote subject matter experts, where they can do a creation of multidisciplinary creation of a collection of articles and books. So this will create a seed of our library. But since we believe wisdom of crowd, and we believe that knowledge should be open source, and
it shouldn't be tied to technocracy or quote unquote let's say titles. So in the second phase, we will open this library to public creations, and we will signal these public creations through our Type4 mechanism. We will signal what our community is believing more valuable, and we will make them more visible, and we will give rewards to those best creations coming from anybody, experts to newcomers. So we try to create a wisdom of crowd library. And in the third phase, we want to, if the community wants this library to advance more, we wanted to create a library with cool Web3 features such as dynamic NFT profiles, reputation points, and this gamified approach to knowledge production. And just one last thing I forget to mention. So especially in the second phase, we wanted to create this library as a living product where it can be self-sustainable. We don't want to request funds all the time from TC Common Pool. So we wanted to create an economic model in a way to it without distorting its open source mantra. And also we wanted to create a library, just not a passive product, but a product that you can engage with it and you can create while you are engaging with the product itself. So this is our table of cost table. So you can see who will get how much fund for our accountabilities, and you can see how we are sharing the progress in Omega Working Group call. We are sharing it, and these are the people who is working on it. Actually, that's it. Thank you so much. Sorry, I talk kind of fast to the clock.
That's okay. I think it's also nice to have a little space for questions. If anyone has any questions about the library, this is a great moment. We got Mert here shilling. So what do you guys think? Any questions?
It's a great product. We will advance token engineering through a interdisciplinary approach. So I think this will be a very good contribution to common good space in general. So I'm very excited about it and how will it look like in the future.
It's always hard to ask a whole group of people. Everyone's too shy. But well, cool. If there's no questions, kind of last little moment, I'll give everyone back their 2 minutes, and you can be free to go to the bathroom or whatever you need to do in between calls, because right here next is the awesome book club, the first edition of the New Gravity Book Club. So definitely stick around, and I believe it's in this room, right, Wonka?
Yeah, it will be in Gravity.
It's in the Gravity channel. So you can hop over to Gravity and participate in the beginning of the book club.